Men, everything's always working out for me, or around me everything works. These are mantras that I use on a regular basis to focus, to crank up my energy and actually get the results that I want. What are you saying to yourself on a regular basis? Roll theme. Welcome to the Johnny Jensen Show, where modern dads discover how to create the true riches, relationships and results they deserve. Get your High Value Man blueprint and join our community at highvaluemanproject.com. Let's go. Men, welcome to the Johnny Jensen Show. It is my absolute pleasure to have you here once again, whether you're watching on the live or following, subscribing to the podcast. It is great to have you here. On that point, make sure that you get yourself over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and leave me a review. I'm cranking up the reviews because they help spread the word. You know, we've got to get the word out there, the high value man message, to as many men in the world as we can, as many dads in the world as we can. And I am giving away, yes, prizes for the best review of the week. It doesn't have to be positive, although clearly we would like it to be positive. But if you if it makes me laugh, if it's well thought through, then you could be the review of the week, and you get a free or a prize of a power call with me. That's an hour call, normally 150, 200, 150 pounds, $200, to work through a key challenge, a key target in your world, and to put the high value man principles around that to really turbocharge you towards that result. So get yourself over. In the show notes, there's links to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So to make that easy for you, what are we talking about this week? This week, it is all about the idea, not just the idea, but the practice of mantras, of affirmations. These are things, empowering phrases and statements that we say to ourselves. As I'm wandering into this episode, I'm realizing that I posted this on Facebook in a number of groups this week, and a whole bunch of people replied with their mantras, with their what they say to themselves. So I should have bought that. I should have that ready for this show. You just get caught up in. I'm very focused on making sure that this happens on a weekly basis, and sometimes. Well, as this is the example, clearly, if I'd gone back through those chats and pulled up some of the mantras that other people had left, that would be bloody useful, bloody sensible. But I haven't done that. I'm just looking now on Facebook as we're doing this. That's why I need what do they call it? A producer. I need a show producer to sit in the background and do this. It could take forever for me to go and find some of those. But anyway, we'll come to that. A mantra that I use, I'll tell you one of the ones that I really use is winners never quit. And quitters never win. But I just trim that and leave it with winners never quit. And for me, the magic of that mantra, that affirmation, is that the result that we're looking for is at the finish line, no matter what it takes. You know, the New York Marathon. I ran the New York Marathon in about. You don't want to know the time. That's the funny part of the story. But in terms of the year was some kind of 2008, maybe 2007, and I'd done a triathlon that summer and done a great time actually. And then someone said to me, "Oh, come and do the New York Marathon." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, go on then." And then it was a sponsored thing. You had to raise a load of money, and then it cost hardly anything to go and do it. So of course I didn't raise enough money, and I wasn't really prepared. So the whole thing cost me about $5,000 or some horrific amount of money. And the experience of running the marathon, no surprise, once I got to about the half distance, which is kind of the distance I've been running for the triathlon, my body was just like, what are you doing? Stop, this is the end, right? And oh my gosh, what got me through that was winners never quit. Winners never quit. The magic, the result is at the finish line. And I finished it in some sort of like 5 hours or something horrific. It was almost getting, I think it was almost getting dark by the time I finished. But the magic was at the end, like the experience was at the end. If I'd listened to some of the thoughts that were going through my head during that race, during that marathon, the ones that I didn't create, I was putting in there, winners never quit, the magic's at the finish, putting pictures in my mind of different coaches, Rob and Mary in Chicago, the junior guard events, my dad telling me, if you don't get up, you're going to die on this mountain, like those kind of messages, picturing my wife at the time and my kids at the finish line, like that kind of putting those empowering thoughts in my mind to drive me forward. That's what kept me going. If I'd listened to you're tired, you're hungry, your knees hurting, your back's hurting, like if I'd listened to all that, I would never ever have finished. And that's the message, that's the lesson. What you tell yourself on a daily basis is either lifting you up or kicking you in the bollocks. And it's hard, she's not there, it's not working, I don't like the business, I don't like making sales, I'm running out of money. Like we're not talking about broken men here, we're not talking about people that aren't winning, but we are talking about what it takes to focus the mind at a level where you can perform, at a level where you can pull the future you desire towards you. And it is a state of mind. We get what we think about all the time. I've read, and I say I've studied, like I don't think I've ever studied in my life, but I have read. That's not true. It springs to mind because my boy's got his mocks at the moment, and I'm watching him struggle with revision. But nonetheless, that's a separate subject. I've studied plenty of things. This idea of what goes on in our minds and how what we repeat to ourselves makes a difference. Dr. Wayne Dyer, like when the way you think about things changes. No, I always get this wrong. The way you look at things, basically, it goes when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. There you go. That's exactly it. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, and it's that message that goes into your brain that either pulls the subject towards you or pushes it away. And that's our reticular activating system up here in our brain. It's there as a filter. It's there to focus us on what we're thinking about what we want. To a degree, it pulls in the law of attraction and that sort of side of things. It's also about how we stop ourselves going crazy. Like if we took on board every single sound, sight, smell, that's going on around us, let alone what we're thinking and feeling about it, we would go mental. Our head would be like, oh, that's too much. So our RAS will focus our mind on what we want. It's why you hear breakup songs after, love songs after a breakup, or it's why you see red Audis when you're thinking about buying a red Audi, right? I don't know why I said red Audi. I do have a red car. As a Spurs fan, like red, but I quite, it's like, I don't have many red clothes, and I don't wear red on a match day, but I do have a red car. And I do look quite good in a red t-shirt, but don't tell anyone. Don't tell any gooners, that's for sure. I'm just trying to see here if I can pull up any mantras that people have left, but actually, here we go. Here's one. No, because it's just throw me into the group rather than into my chat. Oh, I guess I could search up my own conversation, couldn't I? But the things that we tell ourselves matter. And you can reprogram your mind by repeating these things to yourself over a long period of time. Esther Hicks's book, Not Asking It Shall Be Given. Or maybe it's called that. I think it is actually. Brilliant woman. I don't really know her backstory actually, but very much around this sort of psychology and the way the mind works. Their famous one is everything's always working out for me. Everything's always working out for me. That's my impression of her voice, by the way. What's his name? Tony Robbins. He's got every day in every way I'm getting faster. Yes. Every day in every way I'm getting stronger. Yes. Every day in every way I'm feeling happier. Yes. Like that is repeatedly reprogramming your mind. And you might think that sounds like, oh, that's flipping weird, Johnny. Why are we going to do that? The thing is, you're doing it to yourself all the time, but you're doing it in the opposite way. And it doesn't have to be some negative, horrible spiel that like you're some flipping, victim and you're suffering. It can simply be a doubt that creeps into your mind about the result that you desire happening. Now, if you imagine you're an elite sports person, yeah, any thought of, I don't think I can do this, or I don't think I can beat that person. Imagine a boxer getting into a boxing ring. I'm not sure I can beat this guy. Wallop! He's going to punch you straight in the face. And the energy that it's going to take to get, well, hopefully you haven't been knocked down, but the energy that it's going to take to absorb that punch and keep moving forward to, what did Rocky say in Rocky Balboa? It ain't how hard you can hit, it's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's what winners are made of, something along those lines. It's fueling yourself to keep going. So when you don't take control of this, the natural doubts and concerns creep in. And they do that because our brain is also trying to protect us. Is that a good idea? Should you really be doing that? Is it going to work out? What's she going to say? You might look an idiot. You might get shot in the head. You might get kicked in the bollocks. We have a self-preservation system inside us which wants us to fight or flight. It wants us to stay alive. Okay, now clearly not all these thoughts and decisions are about staying alive, but that's where the machine comes from. Is the flipping saber-toothed tiger going to eat us, or are we going to spear it and take it back to the cave? That's where these thoughts were pre-programmed from. So we have to recognize that in the modern day and program it into our mind. I was at my boy's football trial last night, and this is in part where this subject came from, is prepping him correctly as we're driving over there is absolutely vital. He's a 15-year-old lad. His brains scattered all over the place, exactly like mine was. And we've got to mix it up, a combination of titting about, playing some tunes, and in amongst that half-hour drive, sowing the seed of, this is going to work out. This is going to, this is the moment you've been waiting for. If you do what you know you're capable of, if you keep cool, if you show up and engage and shake the guy's hand and introduce yourself to a couple of people, if you really put yourself on the front foot, you're going to feel great. And if the thoughts that are running through your mind are consistent with that and the result that you want, then you are a great deal more likely to achieve that outcome. That's the power of affirmations. And you can harness this, and we do it in the courage section of the 3XC formula for living inside the High Value Man project. Inside of courage is a section in the coaching called the I am list. And it's this exact process. And it's not like, oh, how are you going to go away and learn and remember that? But it is simply inside of your journal, inside of, whether it's your phone or the wall by the toothbrush, or you stick it in your car. There's a place in your day where you repeat to yourself your I am list. I am daddy. I am friend. I am lover. I am entrepreneur. I am investor. I am podcaster. I am funny. I am happy and thriving in life. I am the source of my success. I'm the recipient of all the blessings and joy that is owed to me. I am moving towards the life I desire. I am a winner. These are messages to your brain, to your reticular activating system that you're in control of. And when you journal about it, when you repeat them on a daily basis, when you have it there, you'll see it very much. Like I talked about boxers before, but something we used to watch a lot of, was Ski Sunday, like downhill skiing. You can see them at the start. They bang their poles, they bang their helmet. You can see them, particularly slalom skiers. They're picturing the race down the track. You see Formula One drivers doing it as well. And this is what it's available to you to harness. These people who are at the top of their game, top 10 in the world, getting paid millions. It didn't just happen and wake up. They haven't gone and developed a load of weird things that are completely outside of all of our reach. What they're doing is putting into practice what is available to all of us. But most of us won't do it. And that's the magic of, the secret of success is it's not that secret. It's just that most of us won't do what it takes. So mantras and affirmations are easily available to you. you've got to decide what works for you. Which are those power plays that work for you. Slightly different, but in a similar vein, is your ways of being. You know, if you follow me a lot, you'll know I reference different work I did around landmark education quite a lot. And this idea of your ways of being and being able to choose them fits into this as well. Because who you're going to show up as in any given situation is up to you. A bit like the football academy thing last night. If you have got on your mind, I'm a bit nervous, I'm thinking about how it went wrong last time, so I'm doubting my ability, I'm scared. Like, these are all very negative. I'm boring. I don't know how to sell. I'm crap at speaking in front of a room of people. I'm an introvert. It's a classic one that people have as a negative rather than just owning who they are. I'm a confident introvert. I'm a passionate introvert. Like, that's much better than, oh, I'm an introvert. So your ways of being, if you notice as you're going into a situation or when you're waking up in the morning, what's that feeling? What's that thought in your mind? You're like, okay, that's not going to work for me. How can I shift that? What are 3 empowering words that I could choose that are going to lift me up and push me forward, that are going to create something happen? To be bold and to be alive and to be playing, dancing in the conversation, like the classic ones, you know. What would that be like? What if you showed up like that, full of pride and relaxed and willing to dance in the conversation? Like, whoa, okay, that's cool. I can see myself at a networking event being effective and being someone that people want to meet, much more than I'm nervous and tired and really would rather be at home. So your affirmations and your I ams fall into, you know, around that as well. Make a list. Get a piece of paper. This is the I am exercise in practice, and you create the I ams in a ideally, you know, well, not ideally, but definitely in a present tense. So like it's something that you already have. Not I am going to be an investor. I am going to be a property developer. Whatever it is, I'm going to be a coder. Right? I'm going to be an AI entrepreneur. You say I am. I am this. I am fit. I am strong. I am loving. I am daddy. I am friend. I am bold. I am proud. I am dancing in the conversation. I am alive with the experience of life. Saying that, writing it in a journal, putting it out in front of you on a mirror and looking at that mirror as you're saying it, it can't fail to lift you up. It can't fail to reprogram your mind. And I'll tell you one thing as well. When I really learnt the power of this was in a desperate time after my marriage to break down, the divorce, my brother's suicide. Like, it was a very desperate time. The dark cloud, the negative thoughts that were running through my mind around, this is broken. How on earth how did I get here? Why is this happening? It's not fair. All very negative things. And if you think about those as negative things, what they're doing is like grinding you down, a weight. Whereas if you flip it, if you create a list of I ams that are going to push you through that, then this moment that you're simply experiencing right now becomes exactly that. It's a moment that you're experiencing. It's not the end. It's not who you are. It's just a moment you're getting through. On the way to the result that you desire, on the way to the relationship, to the success, to the money, to the fun, to the friendships, to the quality time with your kids, like on the way there. I am this. You can write it in your journal. You can read it out in the car. You can literally memorize it. So when you think about this conversation, mark this day down. It might be very unnatural for you to be able to instantly say that in the way that I can. But over the next 12 weeks, right, inside the High Value Man elite group and elite one-on-one, we work in 10-week cycles, and we do that 3 times a year. So pick that as a time span and see what the difference is. Even if just starting with 1 week, see what the difference is between now and next, whatever, it's next Sunday from here where I am now, but what next 7 days look like with putting the practice of I am affirmations and mantras into your life. Personally, it's a game changer. It's not even that mind blowing. It should be bloody obvious. If you shout at a dog, if you shout at a young kid, they cower. If you talk down to your partner for a period of time, they withdraw and go into their shell. So it's up to you to lift up the people in your life, as I'm sure you would want to do, but it's also up to you to lift yourself up, to be the coach in your own corner, and ideally to put people around you who are going to do that themselves, who speak power and lightness into your life. I would love to know what some of the things are that you say to yourself. Clearly, and I could have searched this up in before, right? Clearly, I've got loads. People have been dropping them into my what's it called? Facebook. Let's quickly go down, shall we? No. And plus, who knows which groups I've dropped it. I promise to be better. I promise to make enough money that I can have a podcast editor and producer who's going to go away and find all this stuff for me. Like I said, let me know. If you are not part of the High Value Man Brotherhood, which is our entry level, it's our free community, which gives you the opportunity to go through the U 2.0 program, which is a short set of videos to give you the basic foundations of the High Value Man life, then get yourself in there. Just go to highvaluemanproject.com/join group. That'll get you in there. If you are on any of my socials, then just simply flip and ask for it, right? If you comment man on various things, it will get you the High Value Man blueprint, and that'll give you a link inside of the Brotherhood as well to pick that up. Everything that you need inside of your life to be the man that you want is within your reach and power. Sure, you can go away and learn new things, but the magic of life is that it's already been built into us. It's not really something you've got to go away and learn too much, right? You don't have to become a ninja, like to master this. If you want to chop boards and fight things, then maybe you do. But if you want to master your own mindset, if you want to wake up feeling awesome every day, it's as simple as the things that you do. What you say to yourself, the amount of exercise, the quality time you spend with people, doing work you love, getting out in the fresh air, like it's all available to us, and yet most of us don't do it. Reading a book, learning something new, it's all available to us. And that's what we do inside the High Value Man Project. It's about leveling up and being the man that you are meant to be, fulfilling your potential, achieving all your ambitions. Why would you want to be anything less than that? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you suffer and put up with anything less than that? Oh, I can go right off on one for a couple of minutes. I'm in a group in particular on Facebook, and the bloke that runs it is a top bloke. The Man Cave, it's grown massively, right? It's only a couple of years old. It's up to about 8,000 people now. It's specifically about men's mental health. It is bleak in there. It post after post after post is men talking about how they're struggling, how they're suffering. And to me, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling that here we are with all this information around us, never been so easy to network and connect and go and do things that we love, particularly in the Western world, in countries that are thriving. And yet, across the board, loneliness, depression, obesity, flipping mental health, suicide, divorce. I think I said divorce twice. Mind-blowing, literally. And the answers aren't that hard. And that's, to a degree, what the High Value Man Project is about. You will have, I'm not going to go into it now at 25 minutes in, but go back and listen to some of the other podcasts. Come and get yourself involved in the Brotherhood. And in regards to the elite group and the elite one-on-one, then I'd absolutely love to tell you more about that, to help you look at what's possible for you when you get inside one of the 10-week cycles, or when you work one-on-one with me, how you can level up. Within just 90 days, you can take control of your life, transform your health, your mindset, and in turn, your experience of life, the relationships, how other people experience around you, so that you truly thrive. So that instead of waking up and going, can I do this again? You wake up with thinking, yes, let's flipping go and have this. Let's go and take on the world. Let's go and have some fun. Let's go and be the man I want to be. Share this around with men in your world. Make sure that we spread the message. My name's Johnny Jensen. This is the Johnny Jensen Show, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Let's go.